Hello YouTube, this is Chris here with the Po' Boy Special Channel along with
Po' Boy himself.
And we have an epic battle today of
the Italian Carcano versus the
American Muscle AR15.
First, let's start out by comparing calibers. AR first.
Okay, the AR-15 is the civilian version of the M16, which was brought into service around the Vietnam era. Now, it shoots a 5.56 by 45 caliber round, and when it was first brought into service, it used a 55 grain bullet, a projectile. Now, today, it uses a 62 grain projectile that also sports a mild steel penetrator in it. That's the one that Obama just tried to ban on us. We beat that. Let's keep it up. How about the Carcano? What does that shoot?
Carcano shoots a 6.5 by 52 millimeter. It's very elongated, very heavy. The military used a standard 160 grain projectile.
That's pretty heavy.
And boy, does it, when it's elongated like that, man, it yaws and tumbles and does a lot of damage. And it's pretty heavy. And this translates to a 25 caliber projectile.
Now, that shoots fairly mildly, right?
The recoil on this is surprisingly pleasant. It's not hardly much recoil at all.
And that's the same way it is with the AR-15. When you shoot this thing, it's just a real joy to shoot. It's very little recoil.
And I will say this particular model is the cavalry model, which is a shorter barrel. The infantry model has the longer barrel. And even with the shorter barrel on this one, the recoil was very pleasant.
Excellent.
All right, let's compare capacity. How many rounds will each one hold? AR first.
All right, folks. Well, the AR-15 is a modern sporting rifle, and it comes standard with a 30-round magazine. Now, you can buy anything from 5-round magazines up to 100-round beta mags, and as long as they're AR-15 compatible, they will work with this, as long as your rifle is mil-spec. Now, and that is unless you live in one of these states that restricts you. Please make sure that your state and local laws do not restrict the magazine size of your rifle, okay? How about the Carcano?
The Carcano has what they call an in-block clip. Yes, there's a difference between a magazine and a clip. Different video. But anyways, this holds 5 rounds. Now you must insert this in-block clip in the weapon to make it function. Without this will not function whatsoever. So, 5 rounds is all for the Carcano. All right, let's compare the ammo availability and cost between the two. First, AR.
Okay, well, ammo is very, very available for the AR-15. You can find it anywhere from Walmart to your sporting goods stores. You can find it online. You can find bulk ammo for it. You can find individual packs. You can go to every gun show in America and find just bricks of this stuff laying around. Baggies of it. They'll even separate it into baggies. And the variation of the ammo is only limited by your imagination. Do you want something that's good for varmint? Do you want something that's good for self-defense? Do you want something that's akin to a military round? Do you want something that is just a good plinking round? You can find it all for the AR-15.
And about what price range are we talking?
Well, we're talking anywhere from $5 to $6 a box upwards, and you can get up into $20 and $30 a box. There's no problem with that. But for plinking ammo, you can find anywhere from 23 to about 50 cents a round.
As opposed to the Carcano here, which I've only seen it in boxes of 20 rounds per box. I've not seen it in cases usually of 500 or 1,000. not saying they don't exist, I'm just saying I've never seen it. Now, when we did a video of JFK using this weapon that you see right here, that round cost me about $2.10 per round. And that's how much I had to go to a specialty store that has very old antique military rounds. And that's why, this is kind of hard to find. This ammo is kind of hard to find.
All right, so it's expensive and difficult to find.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's talk about how long these particular weapons have been around, or years of service. Let's start off with the AR.
Okay, well, the AR-15 is modeled after the M16 that started service in the Vietnam War. Now, the AR-15 is a civilian version of that and has been in use by civilian law enforcement, by civilians, and by militaries around the world ever since then. So it's been, and it's still being used today. It's been around for a very long time.
The Italian Carcano was first produced in 1891. It has seen World War I, World War II, and several other skirmishes throughout the world. They also gave the technology to the Japanese, and they started producing some. So it has seen different actions in different theaters around the globe. However, it is not being used today in any type of military or civilian use that I know of. However, this Italian Carcano is known best for being the alleged weapon that assassinated U.S. President John F. Kennedy. All right, so our final thoughts about these two. First, final thoughts on the AR.
Well, the AR-15 is modeled after a modern fighting rifle, the M16. It's modern. That's part of what I call it. And it is an up-to-speed, up-to-date rifle system, very modular, still being used today by civilian and law enforcement around the world for entertainment purposes, for fun, for sporting, and for self-defense. This thing is used a lot. It's a dang good rifle. It's America's sweetheart rifle. So, that being said, you know, I look over at the old antique over there, and I have to give it props for what it's done. What do you think about it?
Well, it served the Italian military very well. Would I go hunting with it? Possibly. There may be other better choices. However, it would definitely do some damage on whatever you're hunting. I would feel comfortable with that round as far as a hunting round. Would I take it into battle? If it was the only thing I had, 5 rounds isn't very much. But like I said, the round itself does do a lot of damage. And we didn't mention this earlier. However, the distance that this round and that round will go is about a wash, about the same. Mm-hmm. I mean, this site here is registered for about 1,000 yards, and people have registered an AR at 1,000 yards.
Not me. But yeah.
But just saying, so would I trust this? Yes. Would I use it? I don't know. This is an Italian Carcano, so it's part of the family. Capiche?
Oh, yeah. It deserves respect. It's been around for a long time. It's done a lot of service, and it deserves respect for its history. Is it equal to an AR-15 in today's world? No, not really. It's just not. But on the flip side, it does have a rich and awesome history. You know, if you're interested in it, there's a lot of online sources to learn more.
Yeah. So you saw it here on the Po' Boy Special channel. Capiche? Actually, what word am I looking for? Let's start off by trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to say.
Okay, the worst thing we could have done is give you a director's chair.
I can't drive 55.
Now he's at 110.
The Italian Carcano was introduced or made, dang it.
It's made, dang it. That's amazing.
All right, so our final thoughts about this comparison.
That wasn't me this time. I didn't do that. That was him.